So I just wrapped up a conversation with a new business partner. I'm helping her onboard. Exciting times here. And we had a conversation about entrepreneurship. This is her first rodeo, or should I say her first time really committing to see things through. She's gonna give her first entrepreneur endeavor at least a year of just all out commitment. And we were having a conversation about being uncomfortable in that process, having conversations about being uncomfortable with public speaking, being uncomfortable with engaging and meeting new people, being uncomfortable with learning skills and exercising muscles that she may not have utilized or may not have employed frequently, right? Mindset. And she asked me, she said, despite all the trials and tribulations that, you've been through, the successes, the failures, the achievements, accomplishments, all that fun stuff. She says, how do you remain comfortable? Where does the sense of faith come from? Where does the commitment come from? And it's an interesting conversation to have, because I firmly believe that at the end of the day, you don't ever really become comfortable with what's uncomfortable. Like, you can't make the uncomfortable comfortable, right? You hear it being said all the time, those individuals who succeed, they live outside their comfort zone, or they become comfortable with living outside their comfort zone. But it's kind of like an oxymoron, right? What I firmly believe is that it never becomes comfortable. You just have to accept discomfort. You have to understand it and trust that you'll survive it, and no longer be distraught or emotionally surprised by it, where you behave in manners that are counterproductive or you're reactionary, right? You know how to respond. So, an example I can think of is this. I recently was listening to I think it was a podcast or vlog, something like that, from an executive from a lot of respect for, and he talked about the ideal of taking cold showers in the morning. And me being me, man, if somebody has something that I'm taking aim at, if somebody has achieved a certain level of success that I'd like to have, I don't spend too much time inspecting inspecting the roots. I try to pick the fruit. I try to pick up as much of the nuggets as possible. You eat the fruit, spit out the seed, right? So he talked about this ideal of taking cold showers in the morning, which for me was like, like to the 10th power. And I did it. It was not fun. There was nothing comfortable about a cold shower. Look, and I've been doing it repeatedly since, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. And I can tell you from experience, taking cold showers, as far as I'm concerned, at least, the cold showers have not become more comfortable. They'll never be as inviting as a warm shower in the morning. There's just no comparison. It's almost like the equivalent of jumping into a cool or cold pool, right? Even if you've been doing it year in and year out, day in and day out, week in and week out, whatever the case may be, you still know that water's cold. So what changes? What transpires? Why do you continue to do it anyway? What's going on inside internally if you repeatedly put yourself in these situations? Well, basically, what ends up happening is you accept it, right? You accept the fact that the water's chilly. You accept the fact that it's not necessarily comfortable, but you're no longer shocked by it, right? You're no longer hyperventilating. You're no longer surprised by your body's response to it. And shortly after you reach that point, there comes a calm, right? So the temperature of the water doesn't change. You change, right? Your response to it changes. That's entrepreneurship in many respects, right? There are times when things are going to become very uncomfortable. There are going to be periods in your life where things don't go as planned. There are going to be periods in your life where you can second guess and question yourself because your best laid plans aren't coming true. And part of entrepreneurship is accepting that, of course, adopting processes to make your business more predictable, right? And exercising business principles that will allow you to overcome those challenges, right? That's a whole other discussion altogether. But you just reach a point where, because you've done it so many times, because you've overcome so many obstacles, because you've gone out on that stage so many times, because you approached so many people, you were forced to give so many presentations, you've taken so many cold showers, you're just not surprised anymore by whatever's thrown out at you. You expect surprises, you expect to be uncomfortable. And you come to a point, you learn to deal with it, right? You learn to be calm in the midst of the storm. So that was my 2 cents about uncomfortability. Hopefully that made sense. You know what I mean?